Wow, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you, Jen. That was beautiful. It's kind of surprised how emotional that made me feel, but that was awesome. Thank you everyone for coming today. We're just so excited to celebrate this day with all of our community, and it's the community that makes this library so great. And it really started 155 years ago with the Ladies Library Association. And you'll see when you look around this room, I have just like a sense of awe. And thank you to Heather Brady, who's here somewhere in a very beautiful sparkly skirt, who really worked with our staff with Robin Stanley and Melissa McKenna and Vicki Carpenter to put this room together. Because when you see it all together, you just feel like, for me, I just feel an incredible sense of honor to be here today. And I know like long ago, I have this quote, Heather found it, the Grand Traverse Herald said, the ladies of this village have organized a library association. It will prove a great value now in its infancy. Let it receive the fostering care of our citizens. And you can tell we have cared for this place. And it has grown, and that's how we got to here 25 years ago, opening our doors. And if I don't know about some of you, who was here 25 years ago? Yay, this is awesome. I don't know about you. When I walked in shortly after it opened, I thought, wow, the shelves are really empty. And Mike McGuire said, just wait. And we waited, and we didn't even have to wait for too long because the shelves got full, the people came, and every year we see more patrons. And this year we're really excited to celebrate a new record in checkouts. Circulations is what we say in library world. 1.3 million circulations from this library. Yes. So that's huge, and to me and everyone who works here, we come to work knowing our community loves us, knowing that they love what we offer, and sometimes we offer some really strange things. When I saw the ukulele come out, I was like, I don't know, but let's do it. So, it's been really exciting to watch the collection grow and watch our community grow with it. So today is also about the future. If you've looked around, the building is 25 years old, even though we also call it the new library. It does need a little help. So thank you to the Board of Trustees who've decided to allot the money to redo the bathrooms. Because they have had a lot of use, yeah. So thank you to them. We're also this is our third year of our strategic plan that we're working on, where we just really try to target our communities that can't get to us. And we're really working on literacy, which is what we work on all the time. But all in all, I think there's so much to be excited about. And so let's get this party started with Mayor Amy Shamrow. She's going to do our proclamation for the day.
Don't give me that much leeway. And said I could say whatever I wanted. No, I just wanted to take a brief moment before I read the proclamation. As someone who was born and raised here, right over in my purse there, I still have my laminated card from about 1987. That's my second one because I was a kid and I tore the other one apart to kind of see how that worked. But I kept the second one in peace. And for those who don't know, I'm also a member of the Friends of the Library, and I know Donna's here to speak a little bit more about that later, but for everything that the board can't help with, we raise the funds to try and supplement, and Donna will tell you more about that. But I also work, my day job, my other hat, is working in books and literacy, and I'm part of a children's literacy coalition with many library staffers. So just the library, how it touches so many in the community is, as was alluded to by Michelle, it really is just so important to every aspect, I think, and every community in our area. So it is with that great pleasure that I will read this proclamation. Whereas in 1869, a group of civic-minded ladies responding to the needs of a young and growing community met with the objective of establishing the first library in Traverse City, which was known as the Ladies Library. And whereas in 1902, with a grant of $20,000 from the Andrew Carnegie Foundation to build the library on 6th Street, the Traverse City Public Library opened its doors on March 10th, 1905, and an addition added in 1966. And whereas, from the needs of their library patrons, the leadership of the Traverse City Public Library recognized a larger scope of their mission and with the support of a vote of the people, became a district-wide library in 1983. And whereas from these modest beginnings, the library's collections grew along with the community to the point that a new building was erected on Woodmere Avenue in 1999. And whereas over the years, the library has offered programs for all ages, outreach services, literacy initiatives, small business resources, bookmobile services, talking book library, 3D printers, internet access, a variety of materials in ever-changing formats, and many other means of community support and enrichment. And whereas, through times of recession and prosperity, war and peace, pandemic and wellness, the Traverse Area District Library has continued to serve the people of Traverse City and in the library district as a place of learning and enrichment, culture, and community. Therefore, I, Amy Shamrow, Mayor of the City of Traverse City, do hereby proclaim January 10th, 2024 as the 25th anniversary of the main library on Woodmere Avenue. I encourage all residents to visit the library this month and for another 25 years at least to take advantage of the wonderful library resources available at the Traverse City Area District Library on Woodmere Avenue and all the libraries in Grand Traverse County. I would extend sincere gratitude to its trustees, staff, and volunteers, past and present, for their accomplishments, commitment, and dedication to the Grand Traverse region and its residents. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. That is wonderful and a nice synopsis of our history. I'd like to now invite the trustees for the Traverse Area District Library, and there's one future trustee here too. I think they have a few words to share. I know, Jen, if you want to join. Joe Jones, Paul Deo, Mike Vickery, and Jennifer Buthen.
Thank you, Michelle. Good morning. My name is Joseph Jones. I'm probably the youngest trustee on the board, but I've been on it for the longest time. So, our president, Susan Odgers, is not able to be with us today, so she asked one of us to read the things that she wanted to say, and I'm honored to do so. So, welcome everyone to the Traverse Area District Library, the community's library. Today is our silver anniversary, and we give thanks to everyone who helped make this library a reality at this location so long ago. My name is Susan Odgers, and I'm proud to be the president of the TADL Board of Trustees. I regret that I cannot be with you in person today. The 7 members of the Board of Trustees are responsible for providing fiscal oversight, creating policies, and hiring and working with the library director, our best choice ever. In my last 2 years as president, the library has celebrated many successes. A few of them include our new bookmobile, the continued implementation of our strategic plan, and I would like to thank almost everyone in this room. I'm sure you were touched, asked questions, asked what your feelings were about the library, and I thank you for giving those to us. It really made our job constructing this plan a lot easier. And our ever-expanding library of things and our beautiful new roadside sign, which is thing we have to give a big thanks to the Friends. We have also held strong our programming, staffing, and services. Additionally, we experienced significant challenges. Operating during a pandemic would be enough for any library, but we had much more than that, such as severe patron behavior issues that required us to revisit our policies and hire more security, as well as attempts by some to ban books and deny patrons the freedom to read. Sadly, some public libraries have closed due to political pressures tied to funding. I can assure you that this will not happen at this library. The board, the director, the staff, and the community love this library. We will all continue to work together to make it even better over the next 25 years. Our library is a welcoming place that says, come as you are, learn anything you want. And I just lost my spot. Learn anything you want. You don't have to buy anything, and we've got something for every member of our community. It's our hub. While you're here, watch our very young patrons, those not even in kindergarten yet. Listen to their comments as I have. As they depart the library, struggling to carry all the books they've checked out, more than one has said, "I just love this place. When can we come back?" Thank you to everyone that attended this celebration, and welcome once again. Paul, would you like to say something?
Well, I wanted to just say, when I was trying to become a trustee, I was asked a fair number of questions, but I think it really gave me the opportunity to look back and understand what was important to me about libraries. It was a place when I was a child that felt comfortable, and I could go and enjoy a welcoming space and learn more through all the books I had access to. When our kids were growing up, Fridays always meant that we were going to the library where the kids could check out more books. And subsequently, this library feels like a second home. I really appreciate everything that's been done here, and I hope that we can do a good job of keeping it available for everyone.
I didn't come in prepared to say anything, but I'm Mike Vickery, a trustee, I think maybe second longest serving trustee at this point, which is kind of a little scary. I would just say it's always appropriate to note the markers along the trail that you're on when you're on a journey. And this 25th year marker on the trail that we're on as a community, travel through the pathway of our public library, is an important marker of not just the library's durability, but also the commitment of the community to the importance of public libraries. And that is a reminder of the importance of public libraries and the path that we're all on to become an informed, enlightened, engaged citizenry in a democratic republic. So thank you all for being here, and thanks for supporting the library.
Was definitely not prepared to say anything. My name is Jennifer Boytine. I'll be sworn in at our first meeting of the year as the new trustee. And I just want to thank all of you for all the work you've done to make this library system such a hub of community and a beacon for our family when we moved here. I have 4-year-old twins who say exactly what you described. They love it here. They walk out with stacks of books, and they can't wait to come back. So thank you for being a home for us, and I look forward to continuing to celebrate.
Wonderful, thank you. And it's the board that really guides us and how we move forward, and I can't tell you how much, as the director, I appreciate them and all of our past board members. I think we have at least one past board member here. I don't know if you want to raise your hand. Yes, thank you, Dave Maxon. And I think he was a board member when the library was being built, so really instrumental. Yay, I love that. Awesome. Next, I'd like to invite Donna Hornberger as a representative from the Friends. The Friends not only are instrumental in bringing people together, but they also help fund so many things at the library. She's got a list of it. I'll let her.
I was going to bring the list. I am not the president of the Friends. The president could not make it.
Sorry, past president.
Yeah, Judd Barkley is a president now, and he didn't provide me with a text to read, so this is my take on the Friends. The Friends of the Library are an independent group. We are a 501c3. We have our own board, our own bylaws, our own budget, but we work for the library. I want to read to you our mission. Friends of TADL is dedicated to encouraging awareness, appreciation, use, and support of the TADL facilities and its role in the cultural and educational development of the district. And that's what we really work to do. We meet as a board once a month, and most of our support is financial. A few of the things annually, every year, we support their online newsletter software, the busing for students, and I know I have been here when the kids have been leaving, and they love it. They just adore it. Ancestry.com is paid for by us. Materials for the summer reading program, Born to Read. In addition, the library director will come to us and let us know what she thinks that we could help support, not on an annual basis, but every so often. We did not completely pay for the sign outside, which was quite expensive. But we did pay for part of the sign. We also helped fund part of the bookmobile. We did some of the furnishings and painting for the youth story room. And the tables and chairs that you see, we paid for those. Our largest source of income is our twice yearly book sale. We do it in the fall and in the spring, and that requires a lot of work on the part of a lot of volunteers. None of us are paid. We have people who come in sometimes once a week, sometimes less often, depending on how many books we have, so that we can have them sorted and ready for the book sales, and then setting up, working at, and tearing down from the book sales. That's where most of our money for what we're paying for comes from. We also get money from memberships. If you're not a member of the Friends, I would urge you to become a member. It's $15 for a single and $25 for a family membership. If you would like to volunteer with us, we would be delighted to talk to you. You do not have to be a member of the Friends to volunteer. Some of the volunteers have actually become members and gotten on the board afterwards, and it's fun, as people will attest to. That's basically all I have to say. I'm thrilled to be here. I was not here when this building was built. We came a few years later. I did come here from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I worked at that library in Hamilton County for 31 years before I came here, and let me tell you, this is the best.
Okay, next I'd like to invite citizen historians Ann Magoon and Ann Swaney. They were instrumental in getting the funding, which the Friends helped fund, this book called Beyond Books, and it's the story of Traverse area libraries. And they have a special guest with them too, so if they want to come say a few words, I don't see, there they are, they're both there.
Good morning, good afternoon. I'm Ann, and this is Ann. and we've worked together, as Michelle said, on this book, but the real credit goes to the brilliant author, Heather Shoemaker, who brought this idea of providing a written history to life, and she did a wonderful job. So if you like what you see around here and you want more detail and more fun, be sure to pick up a copy of the book. So I'm here not to represent just the little citizens group that came together to put this book together, but also hearkening back about 25, 30 years ago to the Citizens for Libraries, which came out of a League of Women Voters Library Action Committee that I joined in about 1992. So taking you back a few years before this building was here. And most people, when you think of a library, might think of books and ukuleles and education and learning and information and things like that. But when I walk in the door of this library, I think of people. I think of the people first on the donor wall as you enter the building, who, even though it's a taxpayer-funded building, who got out in front of everything and said, I want to be part of this, and I can help financially. I think of the person whose name is on this room and everything he did to make this building a reality. I think of the young girl from out of town who, when she walked in kind of dancing and said, wow, I'd move to Traverse City just for this library. And I think about the demoralized staff at the building on 6th Street back in the early 1990s who were struggling to do an awesome job, but really were kind of fed up with the situation there. And many of them agreed to go on an overnight trip to visit other libraries across the state, state-of-the-art libraries, wonderful, wonderful ones. And they came back re-energized as a group, said, that's what we want. We can do this. How can we help and make it happen? And some of you are in the room here today, I believe. And I think of the community members from all walks of life who came together to work on getting support for this library. And I think of the hundreds of people who came on a snowy night 25 years ago to the pre-opening gala to celebrate. And how many of you might have been here for that event? A few of you. It was snowing. I also think of the people who decided on this carpet, which I thought might make me dizzy as I walked around it, but I've come to really appreciate the fact that it does reflect the ripples on Lake Michigan and brings us in touch with our surroundings. But mostly I think about Betty Parker and Judy Halstead of the League of Women Voters Library Action Committee, who put together a plan that was designed to convince the community that we needed a new library and that we could do it. And from there, Citizens for Libraries developed. And as I say, the story is in here. That's how this book got started. I wanted to make sure the story of Citizens for Libraries was told. And so these were people just like you who knew that we needed to make a difference, had a vision, and brought other people in with them. So those are the people I think of.
So, Madam Mayor, my library card number is 9019355. Okay. And I just wanted to say something about the bagpipes. You know, rumor is that Mike McGuire hated bagpipes. And so they played them at every occasion they possibly could. They played them 25 years ago and marched all around. And I was so just pleased to hear them again today. That was a wonderful thing to add on. So once upon a time, long, long ago, 7 progressive ladies got together and decided their little backwater northern Michigan township needed to provide a place where women, and eventually men and children, could get together to read books and newspapers, discuss current events, and maybe even bring in outside speakers. In other words, they wanted to introduce culture and literacy to their community. And did they ever? They own 2 buildings, one on Cass Street where a historical marker stands today. And their first building was on Front Street, which also housed the public library before the Carnegie building was built. It was constructed in 1905, and they did bring in speakers, including Susan B. Anthony and Anna Howard Shaw. As you may have figured out, these seven ladies were the founders of the Ladies Library Association in 1869 in early Traverse Township, before it was even a village, let alone a city. This Ladies Library Association, the LLA, was honored last month with well-deserved induction into the Michigan Women's Hall of Fame. And if you want to see the giant, heavy award, it's out in the display case there as you enter. There are people living in our area today who are descendants of women who belong to the early Ladies Library Association. One of them was my friend Julie Maxson, who many of you might remember. Unfortunately, Julie did not live to learn of the Hall of Fame honors. She passed away in September. However, her daughter Krista is with us today. Before I introduce Krista, though, I'd like to explain the lineage. Julie Maxson's great-grandmother was Estella Neeland, who was not one of the founders but joined soon after. She was president of the LLA for many years, and she is included in the group photo of the ladies on our display out in the display cabinet where the award is. So please take a look at that. She's down in the lower right-hand corner. So Estella's daughter, Julie's grandmother, was Mary Hunter Neeland. So this would be, that would be Krista's great-grandmother. And she worked in the 1940s and 50s at what was then the East Side branch of the Carnegie Library. Many of them, you know, I've heard of that. This branch was located on the corner of Washington and Rose Streets and is now a private residence. Julie's grandmother lived right on Washington Street, and Julie told me of often walking to the library with her grandmother and spending her day entranced with all the books while her grandmother worked. So I guess it wasn't too much of a coincidence that Julie Maxson eventually became a library director at Peninsula Library. That makes 3 generations of women involved in what became the TADL system. So it seems fitting today for me to introduce you to Julie's daughter, Krista Goldman, and also David Maxson was also already introduced, and there's a picture of him in this book. Everybody, you folks, if you haven't looked at the book, you need to just to look at all the pictures. And David is standing on what was kind of a precarious perch. I think the whole board of trustees was up at the top of the stairs trying to cut this ribbon, leaning over, you know, and cutting the ribbon. And like you said, it was a horrible snowy day, and we were all just so proud that they could even do that. So I think Krista would like to say a few words. You're welcome.
Thank you, Anne. I'm very proud to be a descendant of a long line of curious, well-read women. My mother, Julie, would have been honored to be here today to share her many memories and her personal knowledge of our library heritage, but I can share briefly how that literary gene has lived on. It's no surprise that books and vocabulary were foundational in my upbringing. My mother and my grandmother, who lived with us, were always reading. A short stack of books sat on their bedside tables. Books were never purchased, however, never. Visits to the library on 6th Street, then, on 6th Street at the time, were a very regular activity. Swear words were never spoken in our home, not necessarily out of a moral obligation, but because my mother felt very strongly that there were far more creative, intelligent options with which to express yourself. And she's right. I far preferred books over television as a child. In fact, at age 9 or 10, I transformed my bedroom into a library. I pasted my little handmade manila pockets in the front cover of all of my books with inserted checkout cards, and I then forced my family members to visit my room and check out my books so I could date those cards with a very satisfying stamp. But a handful of children's books in my bedroom cannot compare to the library building itself. The sense of calm and promise that I feel as soon as I walk in the door, the smell of comfort. How many of you can still smell the 6th Street Library? I can imagine the smell of it. It's like going home. I love it when I'm on vacation and I happen upon that community's library. I get excited to walk in and explore the space. A couple of weeks ago, my 19-year-old daughter and I drove into Traverse City to attend an event, only to discover that we had the wrong time and we completely missed it. And we're sitting in the car and we looked at each other, and within moments we said, let's go to the library. And instead we came here and we perused the shelves in our dressy clothes, and I had a wonderful time, and secretly we're very relieved that we had the wrong time for that event. We had a great time. For generations, our family has enjoyed countless hours in the many library locations as they've changed and grown through the years. On 6th Street, the Peninsula and Interlochen libraries, and of course here on Woodmere, where I recall celebrating with many of you 25 years ago. Thank you for the invitation to be here today and the opportunity to reflect on my library heritage. I imagine my great-great-grandmother, Estella Neeland, smiling down on her great-great-great-grandchildren walking among these books that she loved. So thank you very much.
Well, in conclusion, because I'm sure everyone can smell the cupcakes if you walked in, I just want to thank everyone for coming today. There's a whole bunch of community leaders that are here today, and we enjoy such wide support by our community that it makes me happy to see everyone here. And I hope you all get a chance to mingle with some of our elected officials, and our new city manager is here too. And I just want to thank all the staff. If you are a staff member, if you want to raise your hand. We have a lot of staff here. It's these people that come in every day and spread joy to people when they need it the least or most or whatever. You know, they just come in, and sometimes it's just a smile, or it's a book recommendation, or it's a story shared. And they really make it shine. They make my job look easy. So thank you to everybody for coming. Especially thank you to the friends, past and present, and the board members, past and present. And I also I would be remiss without mentioning our past library directors, which Mike McGuire, this room was named after, and was the visionary for this building. Meta Lansdale, who passed away a few years ago. Gail Parsons-Jewett, who I think isn't here today, and just all their leadership, and that's really kept the library as a centerpiece for the community. So, also before we leave, we have cupcakes. We have a story station in the back. Behind that pillar, if you would like to leave a story, we would love to record it and read it, warm our hearts, just understand how we can better serve you. Also in the little vestibule there, our cards is a big birthday card if you want to sign our happy birthday card. And you can leave a wish for the future or a memory on the cards out there too. And I can't think of a better way to end this day than to say we're looking forward to the next 25 years. And if we all want to sing a round of happy birthday, this was Vicky's idea. I will not be leaning into this microphone except to say the first word. I am not a singer, and this is being broadcasted. So, ready? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dad. Happy birthday to you. Thank you again for coming, and help yourself to the snacks and have a seat and look around the room.